Hi beauties, it's Jean Piersanti with Beauty and the Stamper, and today I just wanted to make a real quick card. So let me go ahead and show you. This isn't the card we're going to make, but it's going to be very similar. I just want to check out a different background. So I made this card for a girls' retreat we went on this weekend, and it was using a technique I have shown you before with the credit cards and cut them at different sizes to make different widths of the drag ink technique. So now I want to play a little bit with water. We're going to use the same thing, only this time we're going to use some water instead. And first thing, this is regular paper. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out some watercolor paper and we're going to try it with that instead. So here is a large sheet of watercolor paper. So we'll go ahead and do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this sheet with some water. This is brand new. I just filled it up. So we're just going to put some water down on here. And I'm going to just do the whole page so that I could have a nice sheet to play with after I'm done. And I'm going to use the same exact colors and we're just going to see what the difference is. So I've got some Wisteria Wonder here, and I've got that pad. I've just got a little brush here, and we'll put some water. There's lots of water forming all over here, so I'm just going to let it drip in here. Be careful not to let it drip on your ink like I did there. So I'm just going to go ahead and squirt a little bit in here. And then you've got your watercolor. So just move that around and then just put it where you want on the paper. And like I said, I'm going to be using the whole thing. And it's just really however you would like to put this, wherever you would like. But definitely put the water on the paper so it gives it some room to move around. And don't be afraid, because it's going to dry. And that's why it's better to use the watercolor paper. And you can see that it starts to run when it's got some extra ink on there and water. So I'm just putting this all over. And yeah, I went on a retreat this weekend with some of the Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and there are about 17 of us, and we just had a great time. Lots of stamping, lots of laughs, just, you know, sometimes the girls just need some time away. So I'm just kind of putting the brush down because I want to make sure that, you know, little ink spots are getting built up there. And then the next color that I have is this smoky slate color, and I'm going to get a lot of ink on there. So hopefully that's enough. And we'll get a lot of water in there too. And I don't want this one to get too muddied. I just kind of want some splatters here and there. And you can see just some of the splatters. So now I'm going to rinse off the color because I'm going to use some rose red now. And I want to get that gray out of there. So now we've got this pretty rose red, which is going to be the same color as the paper. And look at how brilliant that is. So I'm going to put a lot of ink in, or a lot of water in there. And we're just going to play around with that as well. Mix it up with some of the other. And I'm literally just tapping it. I'm just holding it, see? So that it goes wherever it wants. And it's coming out so pretty. And you can see when you tap it like that, you also are getting little flecks everywhere. Okay. So that is kind of neat as an effect there. Kind of got water all over the place, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to take another piece of paper here, and I'm going to move that around, and I'm not worried about mixing colors or anything like that. I'm kind of just picking up the water so that both of them is getting dry, and then I'm going to create a nice little background with this sheet of paper as well. So see there? So we've got this nice little piece there that I could use for a background as well. So this one's very muted as opposed to this one, which is pretty dark here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pat this off a little bit. And all I'm using is like a dry chamois from the Dollar Tree. So you can do that, and it's going to dry it a lot quicker to pick up all of that extra moisture. If you want, you can hit it with a heat gun if you'd like, or a blow dryer, however you'd like. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out some of these really pretty, just some stencils. And we're going to go ahead and kind of just stencil on there. And I think I'm going to choose the Wisteria Wonder to do some stenciling. So I picked that, and I'm looking for my, what am I looking for? Here it is. I'm just looking for this little guy. So just a piece of the sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and put that just kind of across. I'm going to hold it in place. I'm going to put it out here where I dropped some water just to get some of that water up. And we're just going to rub it around. And when I rub it around, I kind of start off of the, so there you go. Isn't that pretty? So I kind of just start off of, I don't start right here. I kind of start on the bluer area and then go in. And I'm just holding it down. You could put it down with anything you'd like. You can hold it down with masking tape or washi tape or something like that. But you'll see only some of them are real dark, and then some of them are kind of light. So I think that'll just add to what's happening there. You can see again, some of them are dark, some of them are light. And this is already drying up really fast. So I'm doing this all over because I'm going to make multiple cards out of this background. So if you have nothing to do and just a little bit of time, you know, just create some backgrounds. You know, you don't have to make the whole card. Just kind of get started on your backgrounds. So when you need a quick card, you could just, I mean, this card I showed you is really quick, really simple, yet it still packs a punch. So I'm kind of just pulling these around here and there. And we're going to go heavier here, so you'll see, and then I'll let it go a little bit lighter. And then we'll go re-ink up, and we'll start heavy here, and then we'll go a little bit lighter as well. And if you're going to the lighter part and you need more ink, start up at the heavier part and then just work your way to where it's lighter, and lift up your hand and don't press so hard. Because even if you have a little bit of ink, if I push really hard, I'll do that right here, it'll still be quite darker, so you can see there. And this is coming out really pretty. And this is just going to make a nice background, in my opinion. We're going to go here with a little bit of lighter and just move that in. So very, very pretty. So that's that. Now I'm just going to take, oh, it looks like I got a little bit of yellow there, but that's okay. That'll just add to it. And now I'm just going to take my paper cutter. I'm going to trim this down for my first one. And this one is 5 by 3 3/4. So that's what I'm going to do this at as well. So I've got 5. And then 3 3/4 here. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to do this one at 3 3/4 as well. And I decided to cut this part rather than this end. I'll save this for something else because it's really cute. But I wanted to have more ink on there. So I really think this came out pretty cute. I'm now going to take just a piece of rose red cardstock, and I cut that in half, and then I fold it in half, and it's going to make a 5.5 by 4 1/4. So when I add this to the card, it's going to be really perfect with the 1/4 inch right around it. So it's already dry. But since it is watercolor, oh, I need a new thing of tape. So I'll tell you what, at this retreat that we went to, I went through 3 rolls of tape. That's how much we stamped this weekend. It was a lot of fun. So there we go. And I'm going to get these right toward the edge because I don't want them to fall off the, warp and come up. So when I'm putting it right across the edge, you'll see, I lay it where I'm going to have it, so that way if any tape comes off, it's right where I need it to be, and I don't worry about that at all. So now I'm just going to put a couple more down just to hold it nice and flat. And I go right there, and it gives me a perfect 1/4 inch all the way around. And that's really nice and pretty. Then I'm going to take one of these, and my thanks for everything, and that came from the Occasions catalog, All Things Thanks, and it is just so many different ways of saying thanks. So I have this guy, and he's cut at 3.5 by 2.5, and that's perfect to fit right on there. And I'm going to use my rose red just so everything matches. I love that about Stampin' Up, that everything matches. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right over here. Really pretty there. Then I'm going to take a little bit of that Wisteria Wonder and just kind of add it to the edges of this card here, just to separate it from that card there. I could use a different sheet of cardstock to give it a little border, but I want it to all be in one flat piece. So as flat as I can get it. So I'm just sponging the ink onto the edges here. So as a reminder, if you're interested, I know I've had some of you beauties tell me you were interested in becoming a demonstrator. Now's the time to do it. You get, of course, the free paper pumpkin. You get all the product, $125 worth of product for only $99. Plus, you get to choose 2 free stamp sets in any of the catalogs that are current. And that, I think, is just awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put some tape-a-ma-jig here, which is really called Snail adhesive, but those of you who watch my husband know that he calls it tape-a-ma-jig. So I'm just going to put that right here in the middle, and I think that that came out really pretty. Same colors, 2 different techniques, and just a whole different look. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that little bell button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I look forward to talking to you again real soon, and you guys have a good evening. Bye!